Howl and Owl tell you who lives in his neighbourhood.
How can crisps keep you warm?
How can you build yourself a tank?
How can you balance a spoon on the end of your nose? Facts and fun, this is the fun. Gaz, please, try it.
What, back there on the bridge?
Not good enough, really. Carol, please, try it. No, this is how you do it, like so. You see, what you do is you wipe your nose with a clean, dry cloth to wipe off any excess grease on your nose, then breathe on the inside of the bowl of the spoon to create some moisture, and then friction will do the rest for you.
I reckon you've got something on that spoon. Here, do it with mine.
All right, no, I wouldn't cheat. I really would not cheat. I'll show you again how. Inside of the bowl of the spoon, and there you are. That is how.
Nearly.
Useless, I can't do that, I'm sorry. Now, how can crisps keep you warm? I shall tell you how. Fred, would you like to take a couple of crisps?
Yes, please. Yes.
Now, taste one.
Lovely.
And what's it taste of?
It's a plain, ordinary crisp.
All right, now dunk it in this bowl and tell me what it tastes of.
Little old dunk. Right. Salt and vinegar crisp.
Salt and vinegar, that is salt and vinegar flavouring. Now, let me show you this. This is a bag with a special liquid inside. If I press a button, something wonderful happens. Can you see it's changing to white?
Yes.
Now, Fred, tell me a bit more about it.
I'm not going to eat it.
No, you're not going to eat it.
It's going hard. It's also going very hot.
Very hot indeed. OK, pass it back. If you don't believe me it's going hot, I shall leave it there. The white will travel along, and I'll put a bit of butter on top and see what happens to that. OK, so what's that got to do with crisps? Well, the special liquid in there is made up of the salt and vinegar flavouring dissolved in water. Now, if you tried to dissolve it in cold water, nothing would happen. It's like trying to dissolve sugar in cold tea. However, if you dissolved it in hot water, it turns into a liquid. OK, now it does that because it's taking some of the heat from the liquid to do it. Now, that's cooled down, then it's put into one of the plastic bags. Then, if you press a clicker inside to send some pressure through it, that is what sets off the chain reaction. It makes the liquid turn back into a solid, and that gives back the heat. That's why it gets hot. It gives back the heat it took out of the water in the first place. Now, you can start that off by pressing one of these, which is a metal clicker. That's all it is inside.
Just a clicker.
Just a clicker. Or you can try to cut it, because if you try to cut it, there's sharp pressure, or if you try to stab it, that starts the chain reaction off as well. Can you see
Your
what's
butter's
happening?
melted
I know, my butter looks disgusting.
This is all very well, but how would you use it?
All right, this is how you'd use it. You would use it to keep a baby's bottle warm.
Bottle warm.
Or you would use it to keep a very strange shoe warm.
That's mine.
OK? Or you would use it to keep your heart warm. And they can be used again because you just throw them back into a pan of boiling water. They go from a solid to a liquid, and that is how crisps can keep you warm.
How can you paint with an iron? Well, some people use brushes. You can use your fingers or your feet, but these were actually painted with an iron. Look at that, they're gorgeous. This fantastic dragon. The chap who does it is called Michael Bossum. Here he is. Michael, what do you need, and more importantly, how do you do it?
Well, obviously, we need an iron, and we're going to use a travel iron like this,
Yeah.
which has been nice and smooth and shiny. And we're going to use it to melt beeswax. This is a beeswax block. It's coloured with natural pigments. Melt it onto your iron. Make sure you put enough on. And then we're going to just smooth it backwards and forwards across the card to create our first landscape.
Oh, wow.
And when you put the iron down and lift it up gently, you get a sort of foliage effect.
Oh.
And if you use the edge of the iron, like an ice skate skating through the wax, you can do grasses and so on.
Looks easy.
Now we're going to put the point of the iron into the wax again that we first chose, and just do a dot and flick it out, and we've got a little bird in the picture.
All right.
Add a little bit of colour from one of the blocks here, again on the point of the iron, and just put it at the top of the foliage section. And there we've got some flowers.
Instant art. Now what do you do?
Now, because it's beeswax, it's hardening very quickly, and as soon as it's cooled down, we can polish it gently. Don't press hard. Like this. And that's how you paint with an iron.
That is beautiful. Yeah, that's the one I did.
Well done. Excellent.
So, if you want to have a go at doing what they call encaustic art, before you go and grab an iron from the kitchen, ask first. And that's how you paint with an iron.
Gaz, top of the class for art. How will an owl tell you who lives in his neighbourhood? Well, the answer to that one is you've got to find out who or what he's eaten for a recent meal. Before we do that, though, take a look at Ollie here, a creature really born to hunt. Lovely big eyes to take in all the available light, funnel-shaped face to deflect all the sound back to sensitive ears, amazing head, it swivels 180 degrees in either direction, very sharp beak, and long, long talons. But how do you find out who's lived in his neighbourhood? You've got to find out what he's eaten, and most important, how he eats it. Take a look at one of Ollie's cousins out in the wild, and we'll find out exactly how it's done. There he is, looking round for a bit of dinner, and there is dinner, although he doesn't yet know it. Ollie swoops in, glides in for the kill, and there's a secret. He takes in the creature whole, but of course he can't digest all of the bones, and what he does is he wraps them up in a small pellet, which he then regurgitates. So if you cut open the pellet with a knife, you'll find inside it lots and lots of little bones. And eventually you'll finish up with a whole collection of bones, and you'll be able to tell roughly what sort of creature has been eaten. If you take a look over here, here's a real collection of bones, back leg bones, rib bones, front leg bones, and a selection of skull and jaw bones. And looking at that, all of which are Ollie's, I'd say quite confidently he's been eating mice and baby rats.
Mice and baby... How did you know that, Fred?
Easy how, that one, because he's got a bad left eye, so he's being looked after at the moment, and all he's being fed are rats, small rats, and baby mice. That's how.
How is the Bank of England trying to stop people from teasing Prince Charles? Well, it's all to do with the £5 note, so I will need a fiver each, please.
I don't like the sound of this howl at all.
One from you, Fred.
We're going to get that back.
And one from you, Gaz.
My wages from how, that is.
Not often you give those away, Tommy.
Now, these two are old £5 notes. But the Bank of England introduced the new fiver, a much smaller version. And they've had to do it because new technology has meant that criminals can make forgeries of the old £5 note much more easily. New technology, like laser photocopiers, are coming into play. Now, have you seen this photograph? This is of the cheeky chappies themselves.
Good-looking pair.
And to show you just how good these photocopiers are, we'll make a photocopy of this. Now, let's see what's happened. This is the original photograph, and this is the laser photocopy.
That's quite remarkable. Really is.
You can hardly tell the difference, except in the quality of the paper. Now, obviously, the Bank of England have had to counter this brilliant technology with the £5 note, and they've been ingenious. What they've done is to combine a range of colours and fine patterns which the photocopier finds difficult to recreate.
Carol, this is fascinating. What about the original how? How did the Bank of England stop people taking the mickey out of Prince Charles?
OK, well, on the back of the old fiver is a picture of the Duke of Wellington.
Right.
If you take one £5 note and fold it just beneath the eyes of the Iron Duke, then take another £5 note, place the Duke over the picture of the Queen, and you can see...
It is. It's Prince Charles.
No, it isn't. I don't think it looks anything like me, to be honest.
Now, if you want to do this how, then you have to be pretty quick, because the old fivers are being taken out of circulation at the end of the year. They'll be taken away from us and ground up into fine fibres.
Good, Hal. Can we have our fivers back, please?
OK, well, that's about £4.67 for you.
You're joking.
There's £5 for Gaz.
Oh, no, you are, Gaz.
No, we are, Fred. Is that fiver I owe you?
Thanks a lot.
how can you build a tank? Really easy, actually. What you need is a cotton reel. What you do is you have a matchstick at one end of your cotton reel. Through the cotton reel, you pass a piece of elastic. That elastic goes through a piece of candle. And at the other end, comes onto another longer matchstick. You wind it up, let it go. Hours of fun with a rather quaint tank.
I'll tell you what, Gaz, it's nice, but by top standards, it's a bit undramatic, isn't it?
You're right, it's hardly a spectacular
No, it's
tank, is it?
unspectacular.
OK.
OK.
A more spectacular tank would probably be a bigger tank. So I'm going to need bigger component parts, like a bigger cotton reel. Big, but not really that big. Bigger elastic. Well, that's big, but not really that big at all. The kind of thing I had in mind was this, the Mark II top turbo tank. Now, the cotton reel has been replaced by an industrial cable drum. The matchstick has been replaced by a rather serious piece of scaffolding. And the elastic has been replaced by this industrial strength rubber. Now then, that rubber, once it's wound up, should power this thing. Oh, by the way, that weighs about 30 grams. This weighs about 350 kilograms. Vorderman reckons that is 10,000 times heavier. Now, obviously, I can't pick this up and wind it, so the only way to wind it is to back charge the elastic, as it were. Now, when you scale things up, things don't normally work exactly as predicted. Anything could happen here. It should drive it. What do you guys reckon?
Well, if it's a top Mark II turbo, it's got to work.
It's gonna. How's your insurance? If I let go of this, it should power itself across the house studio.
Are you sure this is wise?
Oh, it's building up momentum.
How's it going to end?
Probably in a large crash, knowing me.
And tears. And tears.
And that's how you build a tank.
He's going to have a nervous breakdown, you know. How can you make a computer out of a matchbox? Carol Vorderman, you are supposed to be a mathematical whiz kid, but I will show you how my little matchbox computer here can work out a sum as quickly as you can without me doing any writing. Don't believe me? I'll show you how. Go to the board.
OK.
Are you ready? I'll even give you a head start. You pick the number.
The first number. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
It is. All right. The first number is 25.
25.
Right.
OK. Multiply it by 18.
25 multiplied by 18 is 450.
OK. Take away 143.
143 is 307.
OK. Add 268.
Add 268 is 575.
OK. Divide it by 7.
Divide that by the 7, and you get 7 into that is 56. I'll have to go down here. Yeah.
What do you say the answer is?
Well, it's 82 remainder 1.
Carol Vorderman says the answer is 82, remainder 1. Are you ready for this, Carol? Watch. It never fails. How to make a matchbox computer.
How can you sit down in a swamp without getting your bottom wet?
Easy. In a canoe.
In an upside-down umbrella.
Both valid suggestions, but neither right. Walk this way, as they say.
That way?
For I have very conveniently organised a swamp for us here. Come and join me, guys. Come and
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is. We'll need help. Come
on.
in, guys. Don't be afraid.
God.
How-to production team. Come on in.
Fred, Carol, gather yourselves at the front here, like this. Yeah.
Right.
Back here. Everybody get around in a sort of a circle. Get in real close. Don't be afraid. Now, I promise you guys that we
Yes.
will be able to sit down here in this very swamp without getting our bottoms wet.
How?
I will show you. Hands on hips in front.
Right.
On the word how, sit down on the knees of the person behind you. 1, 2, 3, how?
Ta-da! Brilliant!
Yes.
Yes. How do we get out of this?
Oh, I don't know, but that's how for now.
How?
How to.